Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. And a bit of an article that I went back to, and I was listening to a few slews, Duncan and Awful Vids talking about this Johnny Vegas. I did think at first it was Brandon, but I thought, no, he's not big enough. As the time went on and I sat back and I watched the Jonathan Tanda TikTok video that it wasn't him, and he was someone who knew him said that he was putting on an American accent, and basically, technically, he's a Brit, and he basically the message. Well, I did put the message out months ago that he believes that he was something to do with obviously Jay going missing as well, and I'll never forget that at the end of the day, because like I said, it sounded like to me somebody knew him. If I could find that video again, people, because there's so many out there, I'll put that one back out, but it's the topic of conversation. But I just want to go back to something NWT said. Let's get straight into this.
Men that took Jay back to their rental apartment were key people to speak to. And as a result, I've now spoken in some detail to one of these men, Ayub Kasim, who was known as Johnny Vegas. And I've also identified the other male that was with him, but I've not yet spoken to him. Ayub has provided me with his account, what he says happened on that morning.
Right, so we've heard it, but where did he get that information from that Ayub is Johnny Vegas? He could only have got it from Lucy, Brandon, or Brand. Well, basically Lucy or Brandon, and it could possibly be Brandon who panicked and said, or Ayub said to call me Johnny Vegas now. That's really, really strange, because the only person who I think who's tied with Ayub is Brandon, who's told to maybe he said that to cover for actually someone. But I do think this Jonathan A is Johnny Vegas. I really, really do at the end of the day. And like I said, I think that this guy's more of an enforcer than what Rocky is, to be honest with you. But like I said, this was from Zara Khalid, news reporter, and this was on the 7th of July, people, at the end of the day. Unless Mark Williams Thomas has given us information that basically he wasn't 100% sure about, and he just heard it and just basically put it out to the world secondhand because he's heard it from one of the friends that Ayub is Johnny Vegas. I don't think it is him, to be honest with you. I think him and Rocky are covering for someone else who are a little bit up the chain. This is my thoughts, to be honest with you. But hey, everyone's got their own, story in what happened to Jay Slater, and I truly respect that. But I think this is quite kind of crucial in this case, because I think that there are hidden agendas of people who don't really want to be involved in this case. For instance, Brandon's brother. At the end of the day, we've heard a lot about him, but nothing said, and Brandon has said very little in this case concerning that one of his best friends went missing. And then obviously this Jonathan A getting rid of his TikTok account after writing some really weird shit. But like I said, if you look at the messages that people who knew this guy, they weren't good. So that always told me that there's something sinister about that guy, to be honest with you. And so many people are being covered up in what is 100% a rug working operation. I think that Mark Williams Thomas was actually brought in to quieten this case down and put us into a narrative that he was there, he knew what happened, he knew it was rug related, but technically it was nothing to do with Jay's death. But at the start he thought it was at the end of the day, because I do think that he realised that this is probably a little bit too big to actually take on. So who do I think was Johnny Vegas? I definitely think it was this Jonathan A. Tanda. I really, really do. I think that's the Johnny Vegas. I do think that this guy probably knows more. Don't forget, a lot of people left the island kind of quickly, and these were big time people. And I think it's important to note that I think the early days of this case was very, very important at the end of the day, because I think people were panicking and putting stuff up they shouldn't have, and it was being recorded. And the early sleuths, even before me, were catching some good things and realising, oh, hold on, this is all a little bit strange. Let me know what you think, people. Who do you think is the real Johnny Vegas? I don't think it's Ayub, and I don't think it's Brandon, even though Brandon looked like him a bit. It's someone who's got authority, and someone who basically, I think the rest of them are a little bit afraid of as well. Someone with a bit of power. And, you know, there's only obviously, you know, it can only be pot of P, or it can only be, but like I said, I do think basically Jonathan A is basically the guy Johnny Vegas. And didn't someone say he's got it tattooed somewhere on him, or it was on his Insta as well? So I think that's your man there. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment and follow the channel. Thank you very much, people, and let me know what you think. Thank you.